Order.
What time did you have to leave?
Order, I have to leave now,
Well,
so.
guys, I hate to.
Those are a courtesy. You
Ladies
shouldn't have to.
and
Alright,
gentlemen,
Aaron,
if I
please.
might, I have got something that needs to be discussed. It is regarding this line. Today, we stand at a very unique position. We have the ability to think a little bit out of the box, requiring our needs under financial times that are stressful, to say the least. To replace a director with a director may not be the answer.
You have to.
We've done a lot of work.
I understand, I understand,
Candidates who are
I
qualified.
understand, I understand.
It's too late to
I
go
understand,
back.
well, you didn't let me finish. We stand at an opportunity to show the communities that we're willing to go out and do something different to save money and to continue servicing the library like we can. The Mid-York Library is all for it. They're looking for new arrangements between libraries and cooperation between libraries,
Yeah.
and to not take this opportunity to go out and reach out to Whitesboroughs, Uticas, and say, would you be willing to share that resource? We'll take some of their costs, we'll give them a little bit more money, and these things should be looked at, and in conjunction with the continuing search for a director.
Well, why would we do that?
One thing, the biggest library in Mid-York has a debt problem that would scare you to death. I have absolutely no intention of being a part of that at all. They have humongous maintenance costs, they have mostly full-time employees. We don't have any of those problems. We are debt-free,
Mrs.
our
Duras.
building is owned by the
Mrs. Duras,
trustees.
listen, I just want to make the board aware, and you can shoot it down, but I'm telling you that to do something of this magnitude, that's never been done before, would bring New Hartford to the forefront of libraries in New York State to say it can be done.
It is
Okay,
a
and
debt-
might I
You
say,
do it next
excuse me,
year.
order, please. Might I say that is a discussion that we could entertain. I think it's a more global discussion. And if that was to be entertained, it would certainly be on parallel paths to finding.
Exactly.
To finding.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying stop what we're doing.
At this point, they need to continue what they're doing.
Absolutely.
All right? And I think that we can discuss that at a future date. I seriously have to go. If somebody else, if there's more business that can't wait until next week.
There is.
I'm gonna need, okay, well then, I'm gonna need somebody to step in for me here.
Who's your vice president?
Connie, could you please,
I'm not going to identify myself as vice president.
all right, but you are, could you please run the balance of the meeting and adjourn it? And I apologize, but I have
No,
a
that's
commitment that I have to.
There is, guys.
Pardon?
There's a thing here that has to be addressed.
Oh,
It's a primary concern.
No.
Connie, you're already poo-pooing it. Why do you do that to me?
because
Why?
I
This
am
is-
tired of going over it and over it and
Why?
over it again.
I just did an analysis for you.
I read it, I thought it was great, but I don't think we have to discuss it tonight.
Oh, we do. We do, because you're doing a search committee. We have to. How can we interview candidates for directorship without a job description?
Well, here, I'm gonna
We
show you
have a
something.
job description.
No, we don't.
Oh, yeah,
Yes,
we
we
do.
do.
Well, let me show you something, all right? Because you're new to the board.
Thank you.
And thank heavens that Kevin reminded me that we do have a library director duties thing. And here it is, okay? It is not part of our bylaws, but you might be interested in looking at this.
Well, you might have given it to me when you gave me
I
papers.
only got it out of my own files recently. I really am offended by your tone.
Your tone is offending me, Connie. I'm sorry. You're poo-pooing a
I-
lot of
no,
work that I did.
I am not poo-pooing it.
For this
because
board.
I think if you look at what we have in place, you will find that it mirrors one of those that you've already talked about. And it is something that we have done is we don't consult it. And I noticed that when I looked at the Dunham Public Libraries description for their library director, they have something the same that we have in their bylaws. But what we don't have is the sentence that they have, which says something about in any other duties that the board requires of the library director.
This
And so
isn't the bylaws?
It's, that heading is, it doesn't mean that. I mean, I
Okay.
can't explain it to you, but that was the way it was put into the computer in 1996.
So where was this?
It was in a box of papers that I have. This is not the official document.
Okay, so
This is something that was handed out to me probably in 1996. And everybody has it
It's
except
not
for
a
the
current
new guy.
policy.
It's not a policy. It's
What
just,
is it?
it's just a description of the, I don't call it a
Job
policy.
description.
It's a job description.
That's not a job description,
It
I'm
says
sorry.
library director,
That does,
market.
this is not a job description.
What do you call it?
It said, look at the title, it says bylaws.
No, that doesn't mean anything. That's just the way it was put into the computer.
Is this the way we do business as
Yes,
board
it is.
members?
Yes.
Just listen, let me give you an example, just at time to Mr. Flema. You have on the website, library website, a notation going to the United County Civil Service.
Yeah.
And you said, here's for library director 1, and yet it goes back to, it was, the last time it was revised in May 5th, 2004.
That wasn't me.
That's
That's
civil
civil
service.
But you put it out there on the website.
Because that's the
official-
civil
It-
service rule they
But
have to meet.
your committee is relying on this for
I don't know
people to review.
what's the big deal about getting a job description that the board
There isn't any
approves?
big deal. Look at it.
That's not, that's,
It's the same thing that Kirkland has. It's the same thing that
does
Vital.
does this job description fit directly into the evaluation of the library director?
I have no idea.
Well, then, how can, if I'm a library director and interviewing for the job, I would never accept a position from a library that doesn't have my measurement systems on it. Nor does it have my real job description on it. How can I take a position and then get the job and go, oh, by the way, you can do this, 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 and this? I wouldn't want that quality of a candidate. It wouldn't take long, and all I'm saying is, I don't know what the big deal is. It
I
wouldn't
don't know
take
what
long.
the big deal is
It
either.
wouldn't take long to be able to say,
Why don't you-
Mr. Candidate, here is our job description, and by the way, here is your evaluation sheet that we will be evaluating you on every year, so that everybody knows what his job is and what our jobs are. That's all.
Well, have you read this? I mean, I just passed it out. and
No, I haven't.
Well, take a look at it before you get all upset about it, because it really is pretty similar to
I'm not
what the
upset
other
about
one-
this, I'm upset about the fact that it's about 30 minutes worth of work that we're arguing about nothing.
Well, I feel the same way.
Well, then, why can't we as a board draft, using whatever it is, we want a financial budget
Why don't you,
prepared.
why don't you
And
take
we want,
that
and we want,
and revise it?
and
Why
we
don't
want
you
an
take this
evaluation sheet. That's all I'm asking
Well,
for.
let me go one
I'd
step
love
better.
to do
I
it.
make a motion that we, the board,
I'd love to do
put
it.
together a job description for the position of library director upon which the library search committee will
Yeah,
use.
that's all.
Good, get it done by the end of April.
No, that's your
No, that's
fault.
not my job.
Yes,
I'll have it done by, I'll have it done by the end of the week.
If I had to
Good,
do it, it was
around.
right here. If I
And
had to do it,
we'll
We
it
have
was
a
right here.
second, or we want to let it die?
It's gotta be approved by the board.
Well, I understand that.
Yeah.
I have a motion, if there's no second, then it dies.
I didn't even hear your motion.
Oh, motion that the board will prepare, or someone directed by the board to prepare a job description.
And an evaluation,
And
based
evaluation,
upon that job description.
based upon that job
And
description,
you
to
can
be
have it
used
done
by
by
the,
the end of
wait a
the
minute.
week.
I'm
I have it
making a
done tomorrow.
To be done by the search committee. So
Okay,
I
do
make
that,
a
and
I'm
then-
not doing it.
I'm
In
not doing it
conjunction
either.
with
I
the
don't
search
have-
committee.
Yes, that's what I
In
said.
conjunction with.
Didn't I
the
say
search
that, Kevin?
Work.
We have, the point that I am trying to make is this apparently, if you read this over, if you take some time to read it over, you'll see it is not frivolous. There's a lot of good stuff in here. We have been using this as a practice. Do we consult it as we would our budget? No, we do not. It's generally understood that this is what our library director has done in the past. Now, as far as revising this, I have no problem with revising it. If you look at this, you've done the comparison with the other libraries, library director job descriptions. This is quite similar. In fact, I think this one came from either Kirkland or, see, you're getting mad at me too.
I'm not getting mad, I'm just wondering why it wasn't on the webpage. Why didn't this go right to our job description policy? That's all.
Nobody puts those on their webpage or their
For the ad, yeah,
No,
they
no,
don't.
I read probably
Go read it.
200 ads for library directors and
Go look.
librarians.
Doesn't say it's
They
right.
did not have any of that. You pay for the space in most of them.
Mary, I agree, what he's saying is, we should think outside, somebody said, think outside the box. It's our golden opportunity for us to start.
If we don't get
There
this
is
right,
only
if
so much
if
you
his,
can do with so much time.
if his responsibilities and roles are not what we want, hers, and use his in the plural, in the whatever, in the generic, if we don't get that right, nothing's gonna change.
Well, Connie, could you work with the?
No.
No.
I've got so many things that are backed up with me right now. We've got interview questions that we're gonna be finalizing, And this is a first.
And we have the
we're
info
very-
packet we have to get together, so if you could draft that, keep it as a draft, mark it a draft for now, send it around to us, we'll take a look at it, if it has to be revised, it could be revised.
Is there a valuation sheet too that's out there that I haven't
I've
seen?
never seen one.
I haven't either.
But what he's saying is that this is a prerequisite before you even go into the
It's
process.
a primary
We're not
organization.
hiring this person. We're having
It's
a first
irrelevant.
interview.
It's an essential, it's integral.
You
It's
have to say,
important too.
if this is it, you're gonna have to say, here's your job description, Mrs. Smith.
Wait a minute. They've been given a job description in effect. If you look at the civil
You
service.
and that are shooting.
Yeah, they are.
No, we're not.
Yeah, you're.
No, no, Kevin,
You're
no, this
being
is
very
discussion,
bullying.
Kevin.
No, but
No,
you're
you're
saying,
bullying. I don't
Bullying.
bully.
what you gotta
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
It's a piece of
Help them.
paper I'm
Yeah,
talking
well,
about.
let me show you this.
I need a motion.
All right?
All right, I don't mean to offend anybody, I
Well,
just
you
don't understand
are.
what the resistance is.
It's not a resistance, it's something that has already been done. If you look at this, it says typical work activities. And
Yes,
then it
ma'am.
says at the top, does related work as required.
Yes, ma'am.
The board ends up telling the library director
Yes, ma'am.
specifically.
Oneida County Libraries, not the
I will-
Hartford
I will-
Library.
I will-
Our bylaws have exactly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 words that are included in that description.
This is from civil service though.
I got it.
Yes.
He doesn't understand that. He
Yes.
does not care that that's from civil service.
It doesn't
There are
matter.
two things that we have to base our hiring on. One is civil service, we have to abide by their description.
No.
And yes,
Yes, we do.
This is illustrative only, Mary. You go call them and they'll tell you this. It's illustrative. It's not mandatory. This is just an outline. Then you build on it.
I'm sorry
if
guys,
we
I'm
build on
floored.
it for what we want, we're not at library.
I'm absolutely
one, we're
floored
at
that
library
organizationally, we can't come to terms with
I
a
think
New
we
Hartford
can-
Public Library job description and an evaluation
You
from
know
the
what I'm
director.
floored about, Ed? That you've been on this board for 2 months and already you're taken up with him.
I'm not,
You're
That's
yelling-
unfair,
You're
Connie.
talking the
That's
same
unfair.
way.
I've been trying to make changes here since April 2010.
Ed, I wanna ask you a question.
yes, sir.
And
I spent 10 hours on this.
to do with,
Yeah, I've spent a lot more than 10 hours on this
to,
search.
and Ed and Mary, to do with the 6 applicants and the 15 applicants, at the end of the month, last month's board meeting, it was said you only had 6 good applicants. And because of that, you wanted to be able to extend.
Right,
And so,
and the last week we got quite a few
The rest of
more,
them.
and they were the stronger ones.
the point was that you now have 16 applicants or something?
14.
And so there's no need to extend, that's just the answer, as I see it.
And that's fine. That's fine. That is the answer. But the question is, that's not what was voted on. So change it, fine. But it wasn't a matter of what you, it's a matter of procedure. It's a matter of, when I vote on something, I don't want anything to change when I leave. That's all. That's all.
Les wants to say something.
May I interject?
Yeah, please, I've been waiting for you.
I'm so sorry I got out of hand, guys. I really apologize. I just thought this was great information. It was, you know, to go out, number one, and to look at different alternatives of new ways of doing business in today's market of increasingly stringent costs would be something that people would not get their feathers ruffled over. Or that just a simple discussion on a job description that is approved 2013, boom, and an evaluation for a director, boom, that wouldn't ruffle feathers. I don't understand how that ruffles feathers. I'm sorry. I don't get
And
it.
if you want to undertake
I don't
some
get it.
research, which probably will take you the better part of at least a half a year, with a lot of hours, find 5 libraries, 5 regional places who have consolidated and prove to us how you save money.
What has consolidation got to do with this?
I'm not consolidating.
He's not saying
I'm saying shared
consolidation.
services.
We already do.
No, we don't.
That's what New York is.
No, that is not shared services, Mary.
Which
What
is.
Mr. In a way,
It is.
but what Mr. Flem is talking about is shared service insofar as a director. I
You
believe,
know,
is that
no, we
correct?
would be required to have a librarian be our main person.
That's not
in
true.
the- Yes, it
That-
is.
No.
Mid-York says that a shared librarian with a master's degree between a library like Whitesboro and New Hartford that have great assistants would be a wonderful thing to explore.
Well, how are you gonna save money if you have to hire an assistant? We don't have an assistant.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we
right
do.
now. No, we don't.
we're paying one $34,000.
She is not an
She's not an
assistant.
assistant, she would have to be a librarian, not a
Now, wait a
library
minute.
director.
You know, sometimes we need to think outside the box, but when we
I've heard
expend
that
public
before.
funds,
Yeah, too long.
we're paying someone $34,000, and I think she's doing an excellent and exceptional job.
Absolutely. She
She's
provides the
not-
No
input.
library
We're paying our
education.
Congress and they voted.
I don't
them, and
care about the
God bless
Congress,
them.
Mary.
I know, I
You ought to
care
run
about
for Congress
public
if you'd
funds
like.
too.
Again, you don't get, again, guys, my job as a board member is to just bring this stuff up, you can get your,
Yeah, that's
whatever,
fine.
but
I'll entertain,
I
Would
can't-
anybody have an objection if Mr. Fleming came up with a job description that a couple of us could look at and say, this is a good
No,
idea?
but I don't think we vote on it.
Then we are.
that's all I'm asking
Rick,
for.
That I did, and if you come up with a job description,
I
I
said
said do it tomorrow. He said have it done
I'll read
tomorrow.
it.
and I'd like to see it.
Connie
and I
doesn't want
don't-
to use it, neither does Mary.
I didn't
Well,
say
that-
that.
you
I
just said,
I
Connie.
said we have
Would you
it.
You
stop
said you're
arguing for
gonna-
just a couple minutes so I can say
Get it out to the
something?
board. Get it out to the board.
All right,
So you just stop arguing for a couple
and
minutes?
an evaluation.
You're gonna say something?
Les, please, go
What
ahead.
is it gonna,
You said, Mr. Fleming, that you could come up with a job description, which I think we do need, so that we can say, this is what we want. If you come up with one and contact me,
Yes, sir.
because I'm easy to get a hold of, I'd love to pick it up, review it, and then I can go to these two and say, he's got a good idea. And if he doesn't, then I'll come back to you and say, I think you're all right, let's revise it. And I think that's a step
Well, just
forward.
get it to the whole board. Just get it to the whole board.
I will get, I will
Yeah,
get,
but, at least,
if charged with the duty, I will get a job description and an evaluation that is associated with that job description to the board by the end of the week.
Thank you.
good.
This is what the board.
And you're
The
gonna
board can't-
drop it off in our mail
the board
envelope at
can't,
the library?
No, I'm gonna email it to you.
No, the board should.
What's email?
Email,
Email.
email.
Come on.
Scan it, email, scan it. You know, technology,
I got another job for you.
I've
problem.
got,
I can handle it, sir. Anything you got, you guys got, I got time.
listen, I
I've got
think.
another question.
Go ahead.
make it
In
fast.
education, when a teacher or somebody is hired, they're given a job as a provisional employee for 3 years. And during that 3 years, they can be non-renewed. For whatever reason, the school decides you're just not working out.
You mean probationary or something?
Tenure.
Tenure,
Oh, tenure.
okay? So, with the new director, we're not gonna offer them a lifetime position, are we? We're gonna
No.
say, sign up now and that's it forever, you're here?
We can put them on, I think, for 6 months.
You should not forget the fact of two things that I would like to say in a quiet voice. Number one, we are required, I believe, and somebody prove me wrong, but we are required to have a full-time library director by virtue of our population.
No.
No.
Show me where it says.
Mid-York Library says it's doable.
Who did you speak to in Mid-York?
Wanda.
Really? Well, I'll
yes.
call her too.
What was
I
the
had a
reason?
long, Kevin and I
here's
both
the
had a
other
long meeting.
Here's the other thing, of course, I've completely forgotten it.
You
But
said two, go ahead.
I know, I said two. Well, let me think what that was, I don't know what it was.
Okay,
I'm thrown off
fine.
base. No, I'm thrown off base. I'll think of it later when I walk out the door.
Send us an
But-
email.
No, I think that what we're losing sight of right here is we've got a bunch of people that are qualified, and we want to interview them, and we want to hire for the library. You want to talk about thinking outside the box, why not do it over the next year?
I can do.
We
I will-
can't do it
But
in
we
a
have an
month.
opportunity now, and I can do that too.
No,
I will,
no,
I'll be love to go out and talk to
want-
Whitesboro and Utica and see
Yeah.
if they'd be interested.
But we're not necessarily asking you to do that.
I understand, but I'd like to.
And I think it's
But you're
worthwhile.
not a
I mean,
representative.
Is it,
well, that's not entirely true. He's a fact finder, and we all are fact finders.
But
and
on
we have-
behalf of the board, before you go out and you make a proposal
No,
of,
you're not
are
making a
you interested
proposal.
in this, are you interested in that?
I need you to say,
It
I
shouldn't
need,
be
yeah.
just your opinion.
No, I just want to go out there and ask them, would this be something you would entertain, period? Would this be something you would entertain?
I don't
A
think we
shared
should do
director.
it. I think
To save
the
some
new
cash.
person coming on will have their own ideas on how they see the library in the future.
This,
And it's, that vision should guide us.
I respectfully disagree. I understand where you're going with that, Mary, but we're at a critical juncture here. And
Absolutely.
we need an opportunity, whatever that might be, to solicit the kinds of input that Mr. Flem was referring to, that Mr. Court was referring to, and I think even Mr. Kelly said it briefly.
If you guys, and again, the reason why I brought it up, not to ruffle any feathers, and I know you guys are doing a whole lot of work, but I had to bring it up because the opportunity for a mind change. Listen,
Okay.
I love the fact that we went for rechartering. I think it was a wonderful idea to get school board charter.
But you campaigned against it.
But I didn't campaign against charter.
You did?
No, I didn't. I did not campaign against the charter at all.
No.
But I did campaign against the $1 million. Okay? So that's what I can't see, because the normal New Hartford citizen thought rechartering meant $1 million. They didn't know that it was just a rechartering, right? But if we get some positive spin within the state, within the local news, if Whitesboro, New Hartford, or somebody got together and did something to better, in this day and age, all of a sudden, we're positively spinning that we're in tune with what's going on, and a recharter vote, just recharter, just for a school recharter vote, not a double increase, but a recharter vote is something I think the town would appreciate. It's something that makes sense to all the board members. But if we don't change and take this opportunity to change public opinion about the way we're running our business, then it's not gonna ever happen.
Are you finished?
And I'm just saying that this
I
opportunity
just
exists
want
today.
to say, are you finished? Because the camera's still going, and I would entertain a motion for an adjournment because I'm tired.
I
And I
move to
think you
close.
said it everything.
I move to
You said
close.
everything.
Or to adjourn.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Nobody?
I wanna see you for another hour. Argue some more.
Ed?
Those resumes are not
Yeah.
for public distribution.
Well, no,
They're
that's
for
why I
your
said,
use.
no, I'm gonna scan for the board members. That's what